So guys, this is example 3, and I'm going to come up with another example with a literal equation. So let's just say that a worker is working at a framing store, and they're trying to make frames that are rectangular. Here's what we know about the rectangle. We know that the perimeter of this rectangle is going to be 144 inches, therefore P equals 144. And we know that the length of the rectangle is going to be 40 inches. Now, the things that you need to know mathematically are, if we are working with perimeter, what does that tell us? Perimeter means that we have to add all the sides together. So I always suggest for you to draw yourself a picture, much like I just drew. So we are going to look for the width of this. We don't know the width. So if we don't know the width, we'll call the width W. Now, here is what I have to do in order to do the perimeter of this. Remember that perimeter means I have to add all the sides. Now notice that in my picture, I only have 2 of the sides. I have 40 here and W here, which we don't know yet. But use what you know about a rectangle. Okay, the rectangles have opposite sides that are parallel and opposite sides that are equal. So we know that this side is also equal to W, and we know that this side is also equal to 40 inches. So when I write my literal equation, I can write it as W plus 40 plus W plus 40. And that will give me the perimeter of this. Okay, however, I'm going to show you one other way to write this for those of you who may like this way. I try to do things more than one way, so your brain might be seeing it a different way. Let's see. So also, since I have 2 of the W's, I can multiply 2 times W, and I could also multiply 40 times 2. And because I have 2 40s and 2 W's, I could use multiplication. Does not matter which one you use, you're still going to end up with the same thing. When I combine like terms on this first one, I'm still going to get 2W plus 80. If I do this, I multiply 2 times W is 2W, 40 times 2 is 80. So I know that I end up with P equals 2W plus 80. Now, in this case, I also know what P is because it tells me P is 144 inches. So I don't really need the P here. I can put in here 144 inches. So now you can see how we took a literal equation and we turned it into something real. And now we're looking for the width. So how would I find this? Well, remember what we said. Are these both sides or each side simplified? Is the expression simplified? Yes, this is simplified. There's a variable and a constant. It is simplified. So that's how this goes together. Well, I have to get rid of this one because this constant has to go with this constant. So I would subtract 80 from both sides. If I subtract 80 from both sides, I get 2W equals 64. And then I have to divide both sides by 2 because I have to get rid of the 2, and this is a multiplication expression. So divide by 2 and divide by 2, and that will tell us that W will equal 32. So if W equals 32, and I want to know if I'm correct, I could go back here. 2 times 32 is 64, and 64 plus 80 gives you 144. So I know that I am correct. I know that I am right. Remember, don't forget your units whenever you're solving these, especially if you're taking a test, because there's a lot of people, a lot of teachers out there, and even a lot of employers that need you to be as accurate as you possibly can so you're the best worker that you can possibly be. So make sure you take care of that and always put your units. That is how one of the ways that you can use what you know in order to solve a problem using equations.